The Draenei of the Eredar start in Amon Vale, situated on Azeroth Isle, a landmass belonging to a cluster of islands called the Azeroth Isles located off the northwestern coast of Kil'jaeden. The main base with civilization in Amon Vale is called Azure Watch. Bloodmist Isle can be found, as the adjacent zone, a level 10 to 20 area. Velen and the remaining Draenei survivors gained control of one of Tempest Keep's satellite structures, and used it to escape to Azeroth. They searched for allies in their never-ending battle against the Burning Crusade, and finding such allies within the Alliance. They have no capital city. Instead they make their main dwelling on a crashed dimensional ship, the eredar, which is overseen by their leader, Velen. The Draenei's choice of mount is the Elec, a creature similar in appearance to a war elephant. Their chosen language is Draenei, while they are also able to speak Common. Background: long ago, on the world of Argus, the brilliant and magically gifted Draenei race drew the attention of Sargeras, the destroyer of worlds. Sargeras offered untold power to the three leaders of the eredar, Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, and Velen in exchange for their unquestioning loyalty. A troubling vision soon came to Velen, who saw the eredar transformed into unspeakable demons, the first sentient members of the Legion, which would grow to immense size, and decimate all life. Despite Velen's warnings, Kil'jaeden and Archimonde decided to accept Sargeras' offer. Velen despaired at his former friend's decision, and prayed for help. To his surprise and relief, he was answered by one of the benevolent Nagaru. These energy beings had, like Velen, foreseen the formation of the Burning Legion. The Nagaru offered to shepherd Velen and other believers to refuge. Velen quietly gathered those of his fellow eredar who seemed trustworthy, and dubbed them the Draenei, or Exiled Ones. As Sargeras returned to Argus, and transformed many willing eredar into demons, the Draenei narrowly escaped their home world. Furious, Kil'jaeden vowed to track Velen to the ends of creation. Even as the Burning Legion chased the Draenei across the cosmos, the Nagaru instructed the exiles in the way of the light. Deeply affected, the Draenei vowed to honor the light, and uphold the Nagaru's ideals. In time the Draenei settled on a remote world, and met the shamanistic orcs, who inhabited it. The Draenei came to call their new home Draenei, or Exiles' Refuge. Kil'jaeden continued to hunt the exiles, however, and he eventually learned of the idyllic world and its unsuspecting inhabitants. Working through the shaman Ner'zhul, the demon lord gradually began corrupting the orcs. When Ner'zhul refused to serve the Legion's agenda, past a certain point, Kil'jaeden turned to Ner'zhul's apprentice. Gul'dan worked the orcs into a frenzy of bloodlust, and the newly formed horde began slaughtering the peaceful Draenei. The Orcish campaign against the Draenei was brutally effective. Over 80% of the Draenei race was destroyed, though a small group of survivors remained, including the noble Velen. The orcs went on to invade Azeroth through Medivh's dark portal. Years later, after the Second War, Ner'zhul's additional portals would tear Draenei to pieces. Recently Velen and the remaining Draenei survivors gained control of one of Tempest Keep's satellite structures, and used it to escape to Azeroth. Now they search for allies in their never-ending battle against the Burning Crusade. Since the incursion of Alliance and Horde forces into the land of Northrend, due to the Alliance not wanting the Draenei, along with the Night Elves, to not be in Northrend, the Draenei have played a minor role. Their greatest presence is seen with Harbinger Velen and his entourage in Borean Tundra's Valiant's Keep. Even in Northrend the Draenei's stalwart adherence to honesty and polite are crucial in undercutting the efforts of the Cult of the Damned. Starting area intro voiceover. Empowered by the holy light and the undying strength of their convictions, the Draenei led the charge against the demonic Burning Legion in Outland. Now with the Legion's defeat, they have completed the desperate mission that first brought them to Azeroth. Through some Draenei were sent back to Outland to revitalize their former civilization. The majority have vouched to remain and uphold their sacred commitment to the Alliance. Driven by a powerful vision, the immortal prophet Velen believes that a great war between the darkness and the light is fast approaching, and that Azeroth will be its principal battleground. As one of Velen's chosen, you must stand bravely before the shadow and ensure that your people are ready for the war to come. This is the pre-cataclysm intro. 1 month ago, a terrible explosion tore open the skies above northern Kil'jaeden. At that moment, the great ship Eredar plummeted from the heavens and crashed upon the world of Azeroth. Having fled the ravaged world of Outland, the noble Draenei used the dimension-traveling Eredar to reach safe haven. Inspired by tales of the heroic alliance that stood against the might of the Burning Legion, the Draenei have come to enlist aid in retaking their shattered homeland. Dedicated to preserving life and upholding the tenets of the Holy Light, the Draenei hope to gather a new coalition of warriors to battle the Burning Legion and put a halt to its horrific burning crusade. Armed only with courage and their unshakable faith in the light, the Draenei look forward to finding the Alliance and ushering them towards the destiny that awaits beyond the skies of Azeroth. Racial abilities and traits. The Naaru have taught Draenei a great deal of things. With the help of the Naaru, every Draenei has learned a basic spell for healing in the form of gift of the Naaru. Everyone who has fought alongside a Draenei will know that they have a heroic presence which allows them to strike more accurately in combat. Draenei have worked with gems for centuries in a variety of ways such as jewelry or power sources, so they have more skill in gem cutting than any other race. The Draenei are so devoted to the Holy Light and the ways of the Naaru that all Draenei have a slight shadow resistance. Reasons for the classes: warrior. Despite their magical prowess and advanced civilization on Argus, the eredar still needed guards and warriors to keep order. The Draenei are in need of these brawny fighters more than ever, with the Horde ever gaining ground on the coast of Kil'jaeden. Hunter. It has only been since the Draenei's time living on Draenor that they have embraced the art of hunting. Hunting was the primary source of the Draenei's sustenance during their time on Draenor, and since their arrival on Azeroth they have continued this practice. Mage. Back on Argus, the eredar had an incredibly advanced culture tailored from both magic and technology. Even when the Draenei broke off from their brethren, they still kept their in-depth knowledge of the arcane and the nature of magic. Priest. While Draenei do technically have priests in their culture, these holy spiritualists are referred to as anchorites. Draenei worship the light, or more specifically, the Naaru, and these holy men and women are most likely revered in their society. Paladin. Like the anchorites, Draenei paladins are not called so in their culture. Instead, they belong to an order of Naaru worshippers known as Vindicators that serve as powerful holy warriors in their society. Shaman. Shamanism and worshipping nature was once an alien tradition to the Draenei, but the broken Draenei spiritual seeker Nabundu heard the voice of the element of wind while wandering in the wilderness. Since that time Nabundu became a shaman, and under the encouragement of Velen himself, some Draenei have followed in his footsteps. Death Knight. The Lich King cares little for who he converts into his fearsome Death Knights. However, Arthas finds pleasure in corrupting those of pure heart, and the Draenei, arguably the most biased race, are the pinnacle of this pleasure. Furthermore, as exemplified by the corruption of Archimonde and Kil'jaeden, those Draenei who do succumb to corruption prove to be powerful adversaries. For the Alliance, the Shaman class was exclusive to the Draenei until the release of World of Warcraft Cataclysm, in which dwarves are now also able to pursue the path of the elements. Role-playing. Draenei seem to have a Russian-German accent. Like stereotypical Germans, they pronounce W as V. The R is rolled, like the Russian R. Here's an example. Virist. The Exodar. Is this the Va White or Blood Mist? Trivia. The male Draenei dance comes from the dance in the song Tunak done by Taylor Mandy. The female dance is taken from several of Sargeras' music videos, particularly Hips Don'tly. Draenei NPCs are the only Alliance race that do not verbally call for help when they are attacked by an enemy player. However, like most other town and major city NPCs, getting too close to them or attacking them will still cause the summoning of allied guards to defend them. The Draenei are taxonomically similar to the Protoss in Blizzard's StarCraft storyline. Both races are blue-skinned with blue-tinted blood, and both employ bipedal ungulate locomotion. Very few Draenei NPCs have last names, even ones without titles such as Defender. This may be due to few Draenei having family members left from their travels and from times of conflict, or it may simply be a cultural trait. Draenei are the only playable race that did not have a new class added during the Cataclysm expansion. Draenei, along with Tauren in humanoid form, were the only playable races that did not have a class that would allow them to stealth, yet they still had a stealth animation. This changed with Cataclysm. As hunters gain camouflage, the Draenei's numerous start and quests focus on undoing the damage the Exodar did to the environment when they arrived on Azeroth. This has been considered by many to be an attempt by WoW to raise awareness of the ecological damage done by people in real life. Other than the Troll's passive regeneration ability, which only works on themselves, the Draenei are the only race who have a healing racial ability. In open beta there used to be a female/flirt that was a play on the word Exodar. You've seen the Exodar, yes? Now let me show you the Sexodar. This was later removed in beta prior to release.